Hi, this is Josh, and this is me with my Heli-Q. It's called the world's smallest RC helicopter, and I thought you might want to take a look at it. See how well it fires. It comes in this nice small little box, and there's a few bits of information you might want to see on it. First off, it's made by Takara Tomy, which is a well-known hobby RC company. They make lots of stuff in Japan. It says only fly it inside. It goes up and down and around in a circle, and it comes with a controller. Down below it says it has a flight time of, 5 minutes with a 20 to 30 minute recharge. So 5 minutes of flying. And once again, don't fly it outside. On the side it shows you there are 3 colors you can buy. Blue, red, and yellow. Each one corresponds to a different band on the infrared scale. So the controller is set to work with one of these 3. You can fly 3 at the same time in the same room, provided they're of different bands. This is the controller that comes with the Heli-Q. All controls of the helicopter are done through this one joystick stick thing. Reminds me of the N64 joysticky thing that comes with it. You can move the plane left and right and control the speed. It auto-centers back down to the bottom when you let go. Below that are the left and right tuning buttons. That's to get your plane properly oriented and not spinning out of control when you first use it. And right below that is the recharging cable. You recharge the helicopter through the cable, and usually it fits in there properly. And right up above that, to the left and right of the little cover, is the on light and the charging light. The thing is pretty heavy. It feels pretty good in my hand, very solid. At the top you can see the infrared. That's because the helicopter's controlled via infrared, not via remote, like RC, remote control, radio controlled. On and off button, the band buttons if you want to switch the band that the helicopter flies by, if you use a different helicopter. In the back, there's the panel that covers the fact there are 6 AA batteries on the inside. That's kind of why this thing feels heavy and so solid and so large, because it takes 6 AA batteries. Because you're going to be recharging the helicopter through this. And you can see the little lights on there. That's because I turned the on button on. Just lets you know when you've left it on. Anyway, that's the remote. Once again, fairly solid, feels good. You can hit somebody with it and kill them. It is kind of a little bit heavy. Now this is the actual helicopter itself. I have the red one, which my friends call pink, and see how small it is as it fits in the palm of my hand. The thing is about 12 centimeters long, I believe. Yeah, about 11-12 centimeters long. And there it is. There's the rotor on top, and it has little stabilizers there, the counterweight stabilizers. And on the back we have the back rotor, which looks kind of fragile, but seems to be holding it fairly well. The body of it is made of plastic. And you can see inside, clear plastic, so you can see the battery in there. And it feels okay most of the time. And it is actually held together by a lot of tape. There's several pieces of tape. And there's the battery I'm pointing at. And you can see the servo mechanisms. On the bottom, there's an on and off switch, as well as the charge port. You just plug the charger cable from the controller into the charge port on the helicopter to get it charged, and the on and off button there. It says on there I'm a band B, lithium ion, and the instructions it actually shows you how to recycle your battery if you want to throw this guy away. And the landing gear there, plastic. And that's the actual helicopter. For comparison's sake, I'll be comparing the Heli-Q to the Pico Z because they're both sold at the same price here in Japan, and they more or less do basically the same thing. Notice how much smaller the Heli-Q is to the Pico Z. It's, a good 3 or 4 centimeters smaller. Moving on. To show you how well it flies, I'll be flying it off my table. I find that smaller helicopters like the Heli-Q and the Pico Z benefit greatly from launching from your hand. Much easier control. Now notice it's spinning out of control there. I have to use the tuning buttons on the controller to help get it worked out. And it landed kind of again. This next time will be much easier because I've worked out the tuning. In theory it's much easier, but the one analog stick joysticky thing they give you for a controller just doesn't work so well. Trying to control the power of the rotor, the up and down motion, and the rotation of the helicopter, using the same one-button scheme, just doesn't work so well. Its learning curve is really steep, and I've had a really difficult time just trying to get this thing to work after the 8 or 9 times I've tried flying it before this test. In comparison, the Pico Z, much easier to control, and if you want to see how well that flies, I have another video of that will be going up soon. And there it goes spinning, and eventually here it will kind of hit my couch and then stick onto the curtain. First off, this is my second Heli-Q. My first one didn't work when I got it. It wouldn't fly. It kind of went up in the air and then crashed repeatedly. Nothing would get it to fly. This is my second one. It works much better. But sadly, it doesn't actually work all that well because of the controller. The controller just isn't made, well, great. It's really hard to work with just that one joystick button. Now look at the Pico Z's controller. It also takes 6 batteries and recharges the airplane from the controller, but see, it has two sticks there to use. One for the speed of the rotor, meaning up and down, and one to get to spin left or right. Much easier to control. Now, about the airplane helicopter, look at the body. The body is made of plastic, as I said before. The plastic's actually held together by tape, and I'm worried, oh so worried, it's going to get destroyed just by me holding it and touching it. I'm worried I'm going to crush it. Its plasticness scares me. It seems very fragile. I'm also worried I'm going to destroy it when I try to plug in the recharging thing on the bottom, the recharging cord. I feel I'm going to burst through it with my gigantic hands. The on and off button's also kind of hard to get to as well. And the landing gear, well, a little wobbly. They do nicely give you a second tail rotor, a propeller there, like most RC helicopters will, because they tend to break. Mine hasn't broken yet, knock on wood. But compare these two here, the Pico Z and the Heli-Q. They're the same price. They say they do about the same things, but the Pico Z is 10 times easier to control, much smaller learning curve. And it's made of styrofoam, or a lot of it's styrofoam, so it doesn't seem like it's going to be destroyed as easily, which the Heli-Q just seems to want to, begs to be destroyed. Now on the recharge rate, after 20 to 30 minute recharge, I think I only get about 4 minutes of flight time off of this thing, 4 minutes of real flight time. Now, the Pico Z gets about 7 or 8 minutes of flight time per 20 to 30 minute recharge, just as a comparison. So, that's what I'm thinking about the Heli-Q. I kind of like it, I want to like it, it's really nice, it's really small, it's really cute. It's just controlling it is so difficult because of the size and the control scheme. I kind of wish it would work out a bit better because it would just be really fun to harass people with it, but for the meantime, I'm going to harass people with my Pico Z, which is a much better buy and which I would recommend you get over the Heli-Q. The Heli-Q is not for children. Not for children at all. The Pico Z would be much better for a young teen to fly, because it won't break as easily. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.